What's up, guys? I'm going to do a quick update video. I don't have a lot of time here, but the first thing that I want to look at here, this probably won't even get out before market open. I hope it does, but we'll see. This is BABA. So BABA is something I actually went into a long trade yesterday. I posted my idea on TradingView here 19 hours ago, looking at 83.80 to 84 as previous clear resistance. We ended up hitting, even after the dump, after the FOMC meeting, we hit 83.61. You can see if we zoom in here, this was, well, maybe a little bit lower, but pretty close to my buy zone. I took 83.70, but now looking in here, you can see how perfectly it lined up with the bodies. So I guess if I was zooming in a little bit more, would have been more accurate with my buy, but I think I went off of this body up here. But either way, that's what I went off of, this red body. But needless to say, this is just an hourly chart, so we'll have to see. Nice rounding price action. Does this make a cup and handle? Maybe fake some people out, fall back into this support? Possibly, but I don't think so now because, actually, we won't now because right now we're up at 87.43. So we actually got a breakout. You can see clearly we double topped on 85.30 area to 85.42 where the wicks were. And the candle bodies were at $85. So depending on how this plays out, maybe BABA will continue up once the market opens, retest this 85 area. I'm sorry, 88.30 area, reject, fall back in, retest that 85 as support, and then rally up. That's a possibility. If this thing just continues to rip to the upside, the next key resistance is up here at 91.30 with a giant high wick to 92.83. But this was a box of pretty much support and resistance with a low dip wick down to 87.37, which is pretty much where price is right now at this low wick. I like candle bodies better. So, you have like 87.77. But there was like a key area in here with the wicks and bodies that was pretty much up here around like 88.82. So 88.82 would be an area of potential resistance for me to keep an eye out for. And depending on how that plays out, we'll have to see. But if we come back and we test this 85 as support today, depending on how high we go, that's where you'd want to figure out where you want to buy it. If you do want to buy it, if we go all the way to 90, then reject and fall back into 85, you might want to give it some time to make sure it can actually catch the drop. If we drop early, like right in the morning, and retest it and hold, keep an eye on the 1 minute chart, make sure we're holding, we're not closing any candle bodies below and opening them below, then you can play the upswing potentially. This could be actually a breakout of a downtrending resistance here. The first volume spike here, and then the consolidation between a small area, and now we're finally getting some momentum. So this could actually end up looking pretty good. SPY, we did hit a pretty key resistance. We did have a fake breakout of it. You can see my downtrending line. Fake breakout, though, at the FOMC meeting. This trade went sour for me. I will completely admit that I went long around here about the... Wait, no. I went long probably around here, somewhere in this candle, 97.38, this yellow line. I went long here. It rejected. It back tested it. My stop loss was never hit. And then we ripped up with a fake break, and I had an option. And I tried to sell it, and it did not sell. And I couldn't fucking sell it. I got trapped. So sometimes that happens if you don't put stop losses and you decide to sell shit instead. Now, we came down to some pretty good area of support. If we move this up to candle bodies, 92.58. We wicked a hair below it, but we did buy back up. So although the market sold this off quickly, I don't think that's too bad of an idea for the fact that this was previous resistance. We couldn't close above. We tried to back test it, couldn't hold it. Then we held it here, good rally off it, came back down with a sharp fall, held it. So can we still hold this as support? That'll be today's question. If we do get a rally, the 397.38 is going to be a level of concern. And if we can somehow break above that with a double bottom potentially, I don't think it would just spike right up, but if it does, it would probably be a selling opportunity. You have a high of 399.80 which could also coincide with this resistance, which is around at 400. Anything above that or any support above 401.30 is a very bullish break. This was the 401.30. Boom, this top yellow line. I know that I have a few of them. This is a big level for SPY to break. But, yeah, I'm not too sure how it's going to play out. It could be a little more on the bearish side today after this. Maybe we need to consolidate on top of between this 94.30 and this 92.58. If we can continue to do that, that would actually set up for a nice bullish look. So Tesla, this one I fucking absolutely crushed, but I did sell a little early. I was going long at 180. We broke above my 182.40. We confirmed it as support. I went long again on options, and I pulled it up. I pulled about $500, and I sold it here at this red arrow. And look at how far it went. So, and I didn't want to touch it again after. Why did I sell it so quickly? Well, we had this previous wick up here. We had all this previous price action here in this area. We had some EMA resistance that was also on like the 4 hour and stuff that I was watching. The 50 EMA, which is right here, 192.53 on the 4 hour chart. That was definitely something that I was watching. But the reason that I took the trade, mainly, besides the fact that I went over it all with you guys about the back testing the 176.30, which we did double bottom on off of just a couple wicks, was this cross of this 50 EMA was curling up to the 100 EMA. So price was squeezing between the 21, which was above, and the 50, which is below. So EMA analysis kind of helped me in this because I was like, when the 50 is below price, usually you get the lift. When the 50 is above price, usually you get the squeeze down. So this was kind of my signal. So a lot of people were thinking short, short, short. Meanwhile, I was thinking long, 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 and it ended up paying out for me. And SPY had the same look. So I called the SPY push this day. Well, I think it was on the, might have only been on an hourly that it was looking. Yeah, the hourly was looking better. You can see here, we still kind of have it, but we're back kind of in between. But prior, it was over here. We were sitting on top of the 21 EMA. Everything was curling up. And it looked like it was going to squeeze. I don't know where I saw it, actually. 2 hour chart. Oh, yeah, the 2 hour chart. This was it. Sorry. That's why I flip around between some charts if I'm looking at EMAs, because they all could be telling different stories. But you want to look at one that looks like it could actually be good. Right here, pop above the 2 hour 50. Back test. We're holding this 21 EMA. I didn't go long here, but I called for a very big pump. Well, wasn't that big, but it was decent. And it was leading up to the FOMC, so it kind of made sense. 21 EMA, 50 above. Rejecting, rejecting, rejecting. But looking like we're going to squeeze. This is this case where 50 EMA was above, but the 21 was held as support, so you could just stop loss it below that. And we ended up actually pumping from that. So now we got rejected up at the 100 EMA on the 2 hour, and the 200 EMA is at 400. So we're really getting squeezed between those now. And if we can hold today pretty much above 394.60s to a low of 393.70s, maybe we could set up for a bigger squeeze, unless this ends up just squeezing down. But if you have the 21 crossing up, if the 50 starts curling up, all these moving averages could cross above the longer term moving averages on a 2 hour chart, which could actually push us up into some better, higher areas here. But I'm not too sure on how this is going to play out because we did just hit this downtrending resistance. Do we have to come back down to support and then go back up? I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't want to see a break of 392. Tesla, we had that pump, and we did hit the $200 area, and we rejected 280. We fell back down. We fell down to about 190, which is pretty much this previous uptrending resistance here, where we were pumping, rejecting, rejecting, and then we opened up way up here. So when we opened up here, I was already up in my option. I held it a little longer, but I was really skeptical because I was like, the hardest area for Tesla to break the other day was like 185 to 186. And then we just opened up above that resistance. So I was like, we have to come back down, retest it and go. But we never did. We went straight to 200. So at that point, I'm like, shit, this is getting crazy. I wanted to short it yesterday, and I was looking for a short. but I just couldn't pull the trigger because it was like my mind was telling me that, like, we hit that 200 in the pre-market. Are we going to hit the 200 again? And whether or not I missed it, because I didn't see it come up here almost to 200 on the second rally, I might have just been watching it in here. But I was looking for that 200 short, and I never saw it come in. And that would have been a nasty short. But now we're coming back in, and it's at 194.80. So 196 area is going to be a resistance to watch, potentially. If we zoom in, well, it could be even to this point. We'll have to watch that 95.63 to 66. That was the same area that we used to have for ourselves, right? Was that 95.66, 96.80. I'm 95.80. That was an area for us before. It's going to be an area again, in my opinion. So watch that 95.66 as potential resistance, and maybe it falls back in again. Eventually, I think this comes back down to 186s. This was a big channel, though. You can see the channel of price action. So if we can retest this channel and flip it to resistance, then it's a good short, potentially, whether it does that or if it just hits it, comes back down, breaks the low. I don't know how it's going to play out yet. But that would be my idea for today. It did fall pretty good, and it bounced up pretty good. So if we do get a rally back into this channel, the highest point here is 97.30s as this previous wick. But I think if we're going to get up there, we're going to get to the 98s. So if we clear this 96, 196 and hold, I'd look for the 98s to 200s. So that's pretty much, you'd have to stop out somewhere up here above this 96.50 or 96.70, stop out somewhere up there if you are going to take this trade here. But you just got to watch that, like, for the rejection. But that's pretty much all I want to go over for today. I can't go over anything else. I got to get to work. All right. Have a good luck, guys. Peace.